hapon po sa inyong lahat. Ako po si G. Tonji at welcome to Kababayan Today. We feature Harana Men's Chorus, pero bago natin simulan yan, we have immigration updates with Reeves, Miller, Zhang, and Diza.
This immigration update is brought to you by Reeves, Miller, Zhang, and Diza, a professional law corporation.
We have attorney May Zhang in the studio today here in Los Angeles, and we are talking about employment-based petitions, and there are different categories, right? So first of all, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon to you too.
All right, so let's start off with the different kinds of employment-based petitions. There are 5.
Yes.
EB 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Can you just briefly talk about what the difference are between them?
Yes. For the first category, for the first classification, we call EB1. It's for, they have 3 subcategories. It's for people of extraordinary ability. For example, well-known actors, actresses, and painters, and people have extraordinary ability in business, athletes, okay? And the second category is outstanding professors and researchers. And the third is for multinational company executives/managers. And the second preference is EB2, is for the position requiring at least a master's degree. It's an advanced degree, master or above. And the third preference is EB3, is for professionals, where the position requires at least a bachelor's degree, or skilled workers, where the position requires 2-year working experience. For example, the bakery, the cook, and then the EB3 also includes unskilled workers where there's no educational or working experience requirement. For example, caregivers and housekeepers, of course, it takes a long time, okay?
It takes a long time to apply for that.
Yes, and then the fourth is for religious workers. And the fifth is for investors, where you invest at least $500,000 or $1 million.
Are we talking US dollars?
Yeah.
Okay.
I wish.
I don't know. Is it pesos? Okay,
yes,
so
yes.
if you have the money to get an investor's visa, $500,000, then you can apply for the EB5.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Let's focus on the second preference today, the EB2, which is what you mentioned, a master's degree at least, right?
The job offer, the position offered must require an advanced degree, and which is defined as a master's degree or equivalent. Equivalent means a bachelor degree plus 5-year experience.
Okay.
Yes.
Now let's compare that with the EB3. I know the priority dates are different. Can you talk to us about why the EB2 is very popular for Filipinos?
Yeah, for our Filipino clients, EB2 has been current until this month. Unfortunately, it's July 2016, it's current. And based on the newly released visa bulletin for August 2016, EB2 for the whole world would be retrogressed back in 2014. But based on our experience, it would become current again in October 2016 when the new visa numbers come out. So for Filipino clients, it means at least 6 to 7 years difference between EB2 and EB3, the waiting time. So,
okay, so much shorter.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Now, what are the requirements for an EB2? I know you said that you have to have a master's degree.
Or an equivalent, a bachelor plus 5-year experience in the field. And but it has to be the job. It itself requires such a such a degree.
Demand,
yes, because a very common example is that if you have an entry-level accountant position, the employer is offering, say, we're offering you an entry-level accountant position. It doesn't matter whether you have a PhD in accounting. It's a EB3 position.
I see.
Yes.
Okay. Now, what other positions are common for an EB2?
Like doctors, dentists, any senior or managerial, professional positions, for example, senior accountants, accounting managers, engineering managers, anything depends solely on the actual minimum requirement of the employer.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay, now what are the procedures to get an EB-2? Can you walk us through it?
Yeah, there are like basically 3 steps.
Okay.
The first step is we call it PERM, Labor Certification Application, where you need to, which you need to file with Department of Labor, and it involves several different recruitments in our newspapers, professional journals, where you need to put up, the employer needs to put up advertisements. The purpose to show that there are no qualified available workers who are willing to take this position, and that's why the employer is bringing in.
That's why they're
alien
petitioning an alien
Yes.
to fulfill the position.
Exactly. So it takes about 9 months to a year now to get PERM labor cert to be approved by the U.S. Department of Labor, and after that, we're talking about the second step, where we file the I-140 immigrant visa petition with USCIS, the immigration agency, where you need to prove that the employer has enough money to pay the wage decided by Department of Labor. So that's where EB-2 sometimes becomes a little bit difficult, because obviously for EB-2 positions, the wage is much higher than EB-3 positions. Of course, accounting manager has a different, higher wage than an entry-level accountant. So you need to prove sufficient income, and then at this stage, you need to show that the beneficiary actually possessed the minimum qualification. If you require a bachelor plus 5 years experience, the beneficiary better has that, right?
Yeah.
Otherwise, what's the point?
If they don't, then they don't qualify.
Yes, that's why the initial planning is critical. As an attorney, we can't just say, hey, we got your approved labor cert, but you got it denied I-140. Okay, what's the point?
Right.
So that's very important when we plan the case.
I see. What about people that have families with children, with spouse? How does that work on an EB-2?
Okay, so that comes to the third step, when the visa becomes current, or for EB-2 Filipino clients, usually they're current. If the principal beneficiary and the wife and the children, and single children under 21 years old, if they are all here in the United States, they file adjustment of status application concurrently. They may file it concurrently with the I-140 if they are physically present within the United States. But if they're overseas, and then we do the consular processing to transfer the case to Manila, and we have an office there. So we help our clients with the visa interview, and we prepare them very carefully with what questions the consular officer would ask them based on the specific petition, and then the families may follow to join, or accompany with the principal.
At the same time?
Yes, at the same time or afterwards, as long as the relationship existed before the principal beneficiary gets his or her green card.
I see.
Yes.
Okay, please invite our kababayans out there that need advice, especially when it comes to immigration. Invite them to your law firm, please.
Okay, yeah, if you have any immigration-related questions, you may call 626-795-6777.
Maraming salamat, Attorney Zhang, or thank you very much, as they say. And magbabalik kami here sa Kababayan Today, kasama natin ang Harana Men's Chorus.